Hey everyone, welcome to Stand and Empower. And in today's segment, I have my special guest, Charity Turner. Charity, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you for taking the time for this interview.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's amazing. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And I will say Skylee is here, so you might see her in and out. Well, tell me a little bit about what is it that you do? What are you passionate about?
So I started an events business about 3 years ago. And so I do like weddings and coordination, planning, all the fun things. And I just love seeing the day come together. I love seeing people's vision come to life. If they're like, oh, this is what I'm envisioning. And then I try and piece it all together and make it come to life.
Yeah, that's really good. How did you get into that?
So I actually started at my church just doing some coordination and doing events, and I realized how much I loved it. And so I realized I really need to do this for myself. And so then I started looking into what it would take to start my own business and just went for it, and it was great.
Sounds exciting. And I just imagine that you just have to have like a lot of patience for the whole process. So that's good. There's people like you out there with that patience for it.
Yes, it's great. I love to have like a calm presence when a wedding can be so stressful.
Oh, yeah.
And just having that high stress moment and just walking in and being like, it's okay. And just having that calmness, it helps a lot.
That's good. One person in the room needs to be that way, right?
Yes, it's great.
Well, what are some of the challenges that you've had and how have you overcome them?
So like anything, when you first start your business, you kind of don't know where to start. And so I had to do a lot of research on what it took to start a business. And so that was one of the challenges, but then I realized it's not that hard as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of did a bunch of research, figured out where I should promote myself, because when you're starting something, if you don't, you can do your friends' weddings, you can do their friends' weddings, but to get out there more, you have to promote more. And so I was looking into different options of promoting. It took a lot of trial and error of figuring out what was the right avenue for me.
Yeah. And I don't know much about that, right, in regards to the line of work that you do. So I'm just thinking about that piece of, okay, that can be a challenge, right, in itself, is finding which company, right, which direction do I go to begin this? Because there's so many things out there. I'm sure there's all this competition, or even just struggling with the fact of, okay, is this a legit site, right? Is this a scam?
Yeah.
So how did you navigate that?
At first, I advertised on everything. That was a big mistake, because then I was getting some leads that were not legit leads, and I'm like, okay, this is not good. So then I started paring down and really figuring out what was the best route, and figuring out what leads were the most that I could actually follow through and actually get clients from. And so then I started paring back where I was advertising from. And so, and then I realized so now I just advertise through 2 different places, which are specifically for weddings. Because it was too much to try and do everything.
Yeah.
And follow up with everything.
No, absolutely. It's so many different directions. Where do I go?
Yes, it was a lot.
Yeah. Well, who has been your biggest supporter?
I would say my husband. He has been the one, even in the tough times where I'm oh, I should just stop this. He's like, no, why would you stop this? He's like, the time you put into this, the first years, that's the hump you got over. He's you need to push through, even in the difficult times. And so he's been really supportive, and he's how can I help you? How can I I'll do some admin work, whatever you need to help. And so he's been incredible through it.
That's good that you have that support system.
Yes, it's been great.
Yeah. And take note in what she shared, guys, with just being able to look at your situation, even going through challenges where you can just don't give up, okay? Push through it, even during those hard times, because those are the ones that make you grow, actually, or help you grow.
Yeah. I know one of the most difficult times was when I was actually pregnant and trying to run this business and trying to figure out the whole flow of that, and then having a newborn and trying to figure out the flow. And then I just realized I needed to bring some people on and train them, so that way I didn't have to take away from my family, but I could still have the business too.
But that pushed you to grow.
It did, yeah. And so even to this day, I still have those people that are helping me out with the weddings and events, and they're taking bigger pieces of it just because it caused me to take that next step. Even though I thought I wasn't ready, I took that next step.
And, you know, I really appreciate that you're sharing that, because the problem with a lot of, whether it's businesses or even just in the corporate world, people struggle with delegating.
Yeah.
Right? And so when they struggle with delegating, they're really limiting themselves. Or there might be a mindset of like, maybe even like perfectionistic, where it's like, okay, this is either like my baby, my creation. I don't want anybody to mess it up. Right? But then it really just limits you, because then how are you going to focus on the growth of it when you're so just, you know, in it, right? Instead of working on the business.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I've noticed they do things differently than I do, but they have their own excellence in a way, and so it's cool to see even them growing in that role too. So.
And that's great that you gave them that opportunity, right, to be a part of this dream, this vision that you're working on.
Yeah, it's great.
What would you say to somebody who's maybe venturing into this field? Maybe they're thinking about, you know, starting their own business, their own events business, or even, you know, something different. But what would you tell them? Are any tips, any advice that you can give?
First off, don't be afraid to start. Yeah. That's probably the biggest tip I would say. A lot of times we think that you're not qualified or you don't know how to run a business. Just take those first steps. You can learn along the way. There's a lot you can learn along the way. But also, like, just make connections. Anywhere you go, just put your name out there. Have cards on you all the time, business cards.
That's a good tip, guys.
Yes. Yeah. Because you never know when you might be running into someone and be like, oh, here's my business card. And if you have them on you all the time, in your car, wherever, then you'll always be prepared for those conversations. So.
Yeah, no, that's true. Having that with you, right? Because you never know if it's somebody that's maybe talking about you.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, wait, come over here, Charity, you know. Let me introduce you. And then that would be a great opportunity to hand in that card. So
yeah, it's important for sure.
Yeah, so please order your business cards, make connections, step out of your comfort zone, and start approaching people and share what you do. It's sometimes I feel people might hold back in sharing what they do because they feel like it can be like they're bragging.
Yeah.
But that's not the case, right? You want to share what you do so people can begin to build that relationship.
And people are more likely to want to like work with you if you seem like you're confident and you know what you're talking about, rather than if you're kind of like timid, like, oh, I just do this one thing and it's kind of a small thing. But if you're confident and saying, oh, I love this. This is my events business. I run it. It's great. We do these weddings per month and like just really build it up. People are going to want to work with you.
Yeah, because it's you're transferring that passion, right? You get people excited for what you have to share and what you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, thank you again for being with us today.
Of course.
And I do have one final question for you. How do you stand and empower?
I'm always looking for people. So I always look for specifically women that I can bring along the journey. And so my business is a woman-ran business. And I hire different women that have that passion for events, that want to maybe learn more or grow more. Even if they want to start their own events business down the road, they can at least jump in, and I want to support them however I can. And so really I help walk alongside them. And sometimes it might be just training them on stuff, and sometimes it might be like, this is what I did for my business, how can I help you? But just really looking for those opportunities to walk alongside them and help them out. So.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that part of it, especially with, if they want to start their own business and like, that, right? It's not like, oh no, this is my business, this is my thing, I can't teach you or share the knowledge, but you're openly, like you're willingly, sharing them that. Yeah. Well, thank you again for being here today and sharing your journey in what you're doing now. And so if you have any questions for Charity, please feel free to reach out to her. Her information will be in the link. Well, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
At Stand in Power.